Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to City Skylines. Now, we've done all sorts of different things, and I said today what I wanted to do was I wanted to raise the water point there, the water source point there, by quite a bit, and then let it run its course down through here, and we will landscape everything that we need to on its way down through, so that we've got sort of everything where I want it to be. Now, we've got a lot of water coming through here. We put our new dam in place, and this one is actually functioning quite well at the moment. Honestly, I think we could probably end up making this dam higher, and we probably will at some point change things around a bit, and that will go yet higher still. And we've got a little bit of flooding down here, and then it comes down to the sea level down here. We've got some pumps taking water out down here. Generally speaking, things are going pretty well, and I do think that, you know, if we kind of worked with it a little bit at this kind of level, it would stay doing fairly well. But we're about to change things around, and things are about to take a turn for the worse for a lot of people that live here on this map. Before we do that, okay, power is absolutely fine. We've got more than double what we need. And water as well. Input and output is well over double. It's quadruple there for sewage. We're doing fine. We're doing absolutely fine. There's one thing that I did want to do, as somebody suggested, was that I put a clean water pipe. We've got eco water outlet there. Water drain. Pumps out wastewater. What's that? Fresh water outlet. Drains out excess water in the system can be placed on dry land, creating lakes and ponds. So, yeah, it was this one right here. I wanted to try this one to just see what it would do, and also to increase the amount of water that's coming out. So it's going to be taking some of the water that's coming into the system. Now, we no longer have a water source in there. We've only got... The only water source that we've got at the moment is one there, and one all the way up at the top of the river up there. This one here was removed. So, at the moment, that's being filled by water that's coming from up here. And I kind of wanted to change that around a little bit. So, we're going to drop a water source right here. It's going to go up on top of the lake, it's going to go right up on top up there. And we're going to join this one in. Go over to here, and it's just going to have a straight line go up from here. Join in there like that. Perfect. And it also needs a power supply. So we'll just run a couple of those up there like that. That should do it. Right, so that has now got power. It's got water. It's got everything that it could possibly need. Except that it's not... Oh, here we go. Drain capacity, operating normally. 24,000 cubic meters a week. Right. There's the water. Okay. We're going to just let that one go a little bit faster. I want to see how this kind of works and where it's going to go with the water. So we've got more water now flowing into this lake. This is a good thing. It's not flowing in, like, there's not vast quantities of water flowing out of there, is there? That is actually fairly steady on that. I feel that that could actually be better. We could do with more than that. Maybe we will. We'll, you know what? I tell you what. We'll add in another couple right now, because they can be like quite close together. I would have thought. Oh, it's now trying to snap it down to there. I don't want it to snap. How can I turn that off? Oh, I know what I can do. Let me go bulldoze a minute. Remove that. That'll remove the water, and then I can... that's better. Right, now we got no water up there. Let's just slow the speed down a fraction, just a second. And I'm going to put a couple more of those up there like that. So we've got 5 of them. Then we see that, I feel, is that it's going to make like a bit more of a significant impact on it, isn't it? So if I join those 5 together like that, and then join one out there, speed those up and do that, we've now got That's the original one there. These up. There we go. Now they're all joining it. There. That's much better. Okay, now we've got a significant quantity of water that is flowing down that hill. Let me just have a look in here. So we've now got... The water consumption hasn't changed. Even though we've got the fresh water capacity, the actual water consumption itself doesn't seem to have changed. No different. We've got a load of dead bodies waiting pickup over here. Why have we got so many dead bodies right in this area right here? Has that got anything to do with the pollution that was there? Nope. Pollution's gone. Alright. Let's go to healthcare. We've got no healthcare over here at all. And death care is very limited anyway. I mean, I know that we're getting like a wave, but this isn't residential. There's no residential here. This is all commercial. See? So why have I got a load of dead people in the commercial zone? I don't really understand that. Anyway, we'll not worry about that. But I will just add in some healthcare over here. We've got a medical clinic. I'll put one of those in here. Drop that one in right there like that. And I'll also take some death care. We're going to put that one right in there, and that will hopefully just help us out a little bit. Right, there's that bit. And then we've got this water that's pouring down here. It's not affecting these. They're operating normally as well. It's just that we've got a little bit more water flowing into this lake. Actually, that's on 0. Oh, I see. I think that comes up to a certain point, and then it flicks over and switches off. Whether it's to do with that up there, I'm not really sure. I know that we had some issues previously. Like just trying to get everything to catch up a little bit. Nope, no changes there. And then you just got the water that's flowing down here. And this flows quite strongly down this way. Right. Enough messing around there. I said that I was going to do this today. So this is what we're going to do. We're not going to do any changes. I'm not going to alter anything. But we want that to go up quite a bit higher. We want to bring that all the way up to this height up here. No, I'm not going to buy new land. I want to bring it up to the height of that lake. I actually want to bring it up higher than the height of that lake. So I'm going to go over to the water source over here. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. And then... Right, let's just mouse over. Secondary mouse to remove. Use the handle to adjust the water level. Right, so I just click on there and hold it. And I'm going to raise that water level all the way up to there. That is a long way up that I've just brought that. That is going to require a huge amount of work in order to make sure we don't have... Look at that. Okay, the flooding is coming in. It's going straight over to this road over on this side immediately. And it's also coming down over here. This is going to cause major issues. Major flooding. Oh my goodness me. This is going to... I may have overdone it. Quite frankly, I don't care. This is what I wanted to do. We wanted to have the flooding on here. Curious how it's going to work out. I mean, it's going to, like, have the initial wave, and then it'll settle down. After a while, it will settle down, so we may not need to landscape anything on this side to protect the road up here. But we will probably have to landscape, well, almost definitely have to landscape stuff on the lower side down here in order to protect that. I'm also hoping that we get water flowing in this way. I mean, at the moment, there is stuff flowing in. We've got quite a significant amount flowing in. And then there's a load flowing in that way as well. There's no exit point for the water in here, because I removed the water source. So what that means is that all of the water that's disappearing is doing so through evaporation. Now, we've got one other water point, which I need to zoom in to be able to see this one. It's slightly annoying. Right, the water point is up over there, the water source. But we can't actually go and see that one. Not at the moment, because I haven't bought the land going up over that way. This one over here, we've got Right, well, we've got all this flooding on this side. I think what I am going to have to do is do some landscaping up on this side. So we'll do that now. We'll bring that down through. I'm going to go with that level terrain, and get rid of that a minute. So brush strength works better at about 0.04 we found is suitable. Single is way too small. We want to go... I'll go a bit bigger than that. Go to about 50-ish, something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring the water to... I'm going to bring the land up to about that kind of height over there. So, I mean, it's pretty good down here. All we're doing is we're just going to run along the edge of the road here, and we're going to just try and push this up a little bit along here like this, so that it just raises up a natural barrier along the side. I can actually widen. There we go. That's much better. There. I'm going to raise a natural barrier along this side. Going to stay above that road, and it's going to stop that water from flooding over the road. Or it will eventually. Once the water sort of reaches its equilibrium. There. I can bring that back over that way. That's going to keep that out of the way. And then I can run this hill along here like this. All the way through. It's going to have a little bit of natural evaporation on there in order to get that to clear through, but for the most part this road's going to be fine. If I bring that along there, I don't actually have to go very much higher than this. There. So on this side it's relatively safe. I mean, it's starting to raise up there a bit, so I still want to bring this one along just so that we don't have it coming through onto the road. Once you've got the natural barrier in place, this should evaporate out and it should be okay, at least as far as I know. As far as I understand how the water mechanics work. If you go too close to the water source, then it can cause you problems. But so long as you stay a reasonable way away from it, you're usually alright. There, bring that along there like that, so we've got that spur going out there. There. And then it's just, see, they're slowly, it's getting further and further along that way, so I've got a little bit in here, but that is slowly filling up. Now, out this way, this is a different matter entirely. I'm going to take that one away a second, and we're going to keep watching it. So the trains are completely flooded. We've got, now we're talking. So we're coming out all the way over here, and we're getting to more serious things. The road traffic from that direction is completely stopped. We do have some traffic going the other way, but at the moment, the traffic is coming in from the road down here. And it looks like they're going to have to go back out that way as well. They're not going to be able to come in across. We've got this huge flood that's advancing on here. We will have to build barriers up in order to protect all of this area here. And probably all of the city over on this side as well. We're going to have our work cut out. Look at the amount of water that is pouring in across. I mean, I've protected that area there. But, I mean, looking at it here. See, you've got that water up there. And that is also to do with the water source, but I'm hoping that it does behave in a slightly strange fashion sometimes, the way the water sources work. But it does look like here that this is actually emptying out, little bit by little bit. So I'm hoping that we're going to be all right on that one. Give it a bit of time to kind of level out, and the same here as well. We might be all right on there. We've got flooding on all of the major road here. The water is now going in the other direction. Going strong. Well, it was going in the other direction already, so we don't need to worry about that at the moment. It's really, I want to find out what's going to happen over here. It's going to take a while for this to settle down, because it does. It takes quite a long time for any of the water to like reach its new point where it's going to go. Like there, it's sort of flooded up there, and then it's like gone back again, and it reaches a new point where it's going to settle down, and that's going to be the new point. So this is coming down here now. We're about to lose the majority of this. This is all going to be inundated and go completely underwater. And we've got some inundations here as well. But I mean, once we've built the barrier up all the way along there, it should help to focus more water running into the lake in this direction. And then we will have some more coming down here. We're going to have to raise the level of the bank all the way around here. I may have to redo that railway yet again, and the bridges and stuff going across it. I'm okay with that. It's whether everybody else is okay with that. So we've lost the monorail for a minute. That's coming out. And we are going to have a bit of an issue over here with this built-up area. Now, obviously, because... Okay, we've got a major death wave going on over here in this built-up area at the moment. It is a major, major death wave going on right there. We've got fire going on over here, but, you know, quite frankly, I don't think that is going to be much of an issue for very much longer. And with this water that's coming down here, now, obviously, we got all this industry up here where we make an absolute fortune. The wealthy people over here on this side of town, they make their fortune from places like that one and that one there. So, obviously, these are the ones that are going to need to be repaired and have flood prevention first. And then this is the slum over here, and we tend to just sort of say, oh, well, unfortunately, we don't currently have enough money for things like that. You all know how it works. You all know how it works. We see this happen every single day. So we'll see if we can run our city like real life, where we protect the valuable businesses, and then if we've got enough money left over, then we go into the poor districts and we help them out a little bit. Yeah, that is generally how it seems to work, isn't it? But I don't get why the entire city is experiencing a death wave. Like, literally, the whole city right now has got this major death wave going on. If we have a look in here, cemetery usage, deceased 2,600, crematorium availability is 1,785. Solar power plant
Warning.
is on...
Experts predict an earthquake could hit the area soon.
Oh, great. That's not good. Where's it going to be? Here we go. Okay, that's actually absolutely fine being down here.
An earthquake is occurring. Don't panic and wait for help if you are in the affected area.
The last time we had an earthquake, it happened right there. Right? It was just on that bit right there, and it did cause this whole tsunami to go through. We've got another one happening here. My goodness me, look at that. Look at the waves that are coming through there. I've had people suggesting that I should be putting a tsunami going in here, and I will do. I will, don't worry. We're going to put a tidal wave going up there as well as elsewhere. So we've got that flood there. The waters here from this... See, this has now sort of reached like a new level. And up here, this is draining away. And it doesn't look like it's coming back here either. So this appears to be relatively safe. And then we've got this area over here. That's going to need more work. We'll let this keep going. And then we'll be able to come back to it. And we can sort of start working on where we're going to be building up our barriers. And where we're not actually going to need to build barriers. So we're going to need to be putting some stuff in around here. But I mean, the water hasn't got this far yet. We're still... The water's kind of establishing new lines up here at the moment. It is coming through this one. And I reckon it's probably coming through there a lot stronger now than it was previously. We got that coming into there. It's still bringing the level of the lake up. And I don't know how long it's going to take for it to bring the level of that lake up. I mean, what I'm thinking is that when we're going to delete that road there and rebuild the bridge. But before we do that, I think we might make this canal a little bit wider going into here. And I think that's going to help. I think that's going to sort of bring in more water coming into the lake. And then eventually the lake will be high enough that it will reverse flow into this lake up here. Which will then in turn allow the water to be going over the dam on a permanent basis rather than just sort of on a temporary thing. Tidal waves down here have settled down. They don't seem to have done anything at all. So there's no lasting effect there. We've got... I mean, when the dam works, we seem to... Or it's now working slowly, but when it was like working for a bit, we were having loads of water pour out, and it was like flooding this down here. And so I'm kind of hoping that we avoid that. We've got lots of abandoned buildings. We've got lots of crime. We've got masses of dead bodies here. I'm not really sure why we've got quite so many dead bodies. The trains here are now completely out of action. The water doesn't seem to be going much further. It's kind of reached a point here where it's not going to change. And that's the point there that it has also reached. So we're going to start... I think what we'll do first is we'll start landscaping up this way, and we'll try and bring this along here. We're going to bring it to about the same height as that side. Well, first of all, I will go along there, and I'll block that bit in. So then I've got that road is safe up to about here. We can work that down through there. So the rest of it is alright at the moment. We've got traffic coming around this way. So it's going around in a big loop. So at the moment it's still working alright. We've still got the traffic. And this is where the water has made it to at the moment. See, it does take quite a while. There is like quite a slow process with the water chugging its way round the map and finding the point where it's supposed to be. You've just seen all the trees change then, just ever so slightly. And this is the amount of time that it takes to change everything over. That one's coming in through there, so we've got those trains blocked there, and then the new bit of water. So we've got like a little bit of a wall of water coming there. I mean, at the moment, the flood defense that I built along here is actually holding, and this massive area of city down here looks like it may come away without too much damage. In part, I think, because of this. The water's actually flowing back up this way, and that is making a difference. I mean, see, it's gone back up there, and it's flooded this. Once this reaches its new height, it may then start to cause us some issues down here. I think that's literally a case of wait and see. There's nothing else that I can do down there at the moment. So I'm going to go back up this way, and we're going to jump in here. We're going to go with that, and... Right. No, oh no, that's ground resources. I don't want that. I want this one right here. So I need to set my height here, which is going to be there. I think that's about right. And I'm just going to travel along here and make sure that this is the correct height. Okay, that does come out of there. That comes out just fine. So if we can keep it at that height, I don't think it needs to go any higher than that. And that's going to be our new embankment all the way along here, which is hopefully going to keep everybody safe. They'll be able to come along this road now. So even when the river has like major issues, it shouldn't cause any problems. Run that back up through there, like that. There. All the way up there, and it's going to go up a little bit higher still. Right the way along. There, so we don't have to raise it up very much on this end. It's going up a little bit so that we've got a decent height all the way along there. There. Right. That's all gone in there. Now, I'm just wondering if I should fill that bit in a little. I might do that. I might just sort of come along there. And it's not filling in like a great deal. You can see I'm just doing it slowly. This is why... Yeah, we've got garbage piling up. This is why we have the brush strength on quite low. 0.04. So 0.04 for brush strength. And it does seem to make a difference. And you can just sort of slowly fill it in. It doesn't like slap it down really fast, which you kind of want to avoid because that leads to much less natural looking landscape when you're finished. But I do want to just fill in this pond that we got here. I know that the road itself is going to be lower down. And you can't actually change that. Short of... Well, I suppose I could, actually. I can. What I can do is this. I can do that all the way along. There, like that. Remove that piece of road, and then go back onto there. And now, I'm just raising that road up just the tiniest bit. And I'm bringing up, like, raising this. I don't want to bring it up too much. I don't want to be going up like loads. But I can bring it up to a close level to that. So we can go up to this height. Like that. And then we've got a little bit of a dip on that side, which will allow for a bit of natural evaporation of this water that we got here. And I'll bring that up through there. So it's going to come up a little bit higher. And then it's got a bit of a natural dip coming down there. Right. We don't want to play with that any further. That's as much as we're going to do on there. So let's go back to the road. Well, I can't do the road for a minute because it's still just settling itself down. So we'll have to leave that for just a little bit longer. The railway now. Now that comes in down to here, and that is one bit that is going to cause us problems. Outside connection needed. Right. Alright, well let's join in the outside connection as they're asking us so nicely. We will go over to this side, and we will take you right there. And that one's going to come out there like that. Cannot build on water. Of course. Right. Remove you. And you. And you up to there. Right. Let us try that. We've got a little bit of water that just needs to move around. So I could also go back to here and, again, just try and raise this up a little bit. Maybe that'll help. It's going to push the water away. It's going to push it around. But it does seem to soak into the ground fairly well. There, let's try that. And then... oh, no, I want to go to the roads. There. So it's, most of it has now disappeared. So I'll bring that out there like that. And I'll bring that one and connect it onto there. And then you, I'll bring you out at 180 as well. And I'll bring you over and I'll connect you onto there. Like that. Right. So we've now got our outside connection. That's now back up and running. That's good. Then we can go back into our landscaping tool. And we've got exactly the same tool that we're going to use. Is the same. We're going to use the same height and everything over on this side. So first up, I want to repair the outside connection for the train. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to bring this land here up higher, so it goes to the same height as the north side of the river. I think that's north side. That's as high as it'll go there. It goes out to the very edge there. So I'm hoping that that's actually going to stop right there. Right, you can't see very much up there, but so long as... yeah, that's good. That's all. That is a good position. Okay, so... now we've got that, we can then start bringing this over this way. And I don't want to, I don't want to interfere with this. That's where the water source is underneath. So we want to bring this one over like this. And I just want to bring it through at that height there. It's going to have a slight impact on a few things here. But we're going to bring this one up that way there. Like that. Just bring that all the way along. Bring the ridge up. There. That's it. And that is the same height as the top side of the road. So it's going to come up through here. And then it's going to fill in that gap there. Needs to go up higher still. Needs to go all the way along there. Oop, saving. Got the autosave. That's good. We can bring this in through here and get to that point there. So we've now got this natural barrier that's running all the way along the top of there. So it's coming back to this way, but you can already see the water is running away from this bit, which means that trains are going to start coming back in there. So we're going to start bringing this all the way along there. We don't need to move any of the trains. We will have to move that road there, I believe, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about the rest of it. Now, down here, now we've got some changes. Now we've got some changes. Look at this. We're actually, what we've got is a new lake is forming down here. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do about that for a minute, because all of this water here, it's now reached a point up there where it doesn't want to go any lower. That's the new equilibrium. It's coming in over the top there for the barriers, and that's running down this way. This bit down here is not going to change too much at the moment, but my goodness me, look at that. That whole thing is going to fill up with water there, and it's going to seriously impact the whole city. We're going to have some major problems there. What we need to do is we've got to like build a new barrier along here, so that the water stays away from this bit. This is going to be the tricky bit for us. This is going to be the bit that is actually genuinely difficult to make sure that it doesn't sort of go too horribly wrong for us. So let's go back up here and keep working on this bit for a minute. I'll bring that through to there. So let's go that way there. Just lower us down a little bit. And there. So all we're doing is we're just going to run along the existing riverbed at the moment. Just bringing that up. We want to be running along the very edge of where it is. So we're not filling in the river. So we've still got the depth of the channel in there. And I'm hoping that's going to allow the water to keep running through without causing us any problems. There. Go like that. And it should also cut the water flow off up here. This here should now start to fill up. I know it's like got a natural dip there, but it should all start changing. We're going to bring this all the way around over to here. Over to this side. And run that through there. And that's going to join in on there. Just go through there slowly and bring that up. Like that. Yep. All the way across. And keep going, keep going. There. Now, I just want to slowly bring that back through. That's about the maximum height there. You can see where it sort of fluctuates a little bit and goes over. That's just while it's adjusting to the new level. And then after a minute or two, that will calm down and it will find its new position where it's going to stop at. It's not going to change. There we go. Right. Let's come out of that. So we've got this wonderful bank all the way along here. These trees are going to regrow. And you can see now that this area up here, this is mostly settled down. And what we'll probably do is we'll dig some of this out a little bit. Just to make it a bit easier. Because it does seem like it's quite high on that bank, doesn't it? It's the sheer quantity of water that we're putting through in some of these places, which is also to do with it. And, well, I'd actually like to increase the quantity of water that we're putting through in some of these places. Like, up here, I'd like to increase the amount that we got coming through there. I mean, if I go here, I'm going to set my dig point to there. And then I want to dig this out. This along here. I want to dig out like a big old chunk of that so that we got more room for the water. Now, digging this out underneath is probably going to result in the water's flowing around quite a bit and slopping out over the edge of the channel in a few places. That's why we're not going to worry too much about how the city itself is doing until after we finish getting the channel all built up how we want it. So we want to bring this along here. See that for the most part the channel can stay pretty level all the way along. It doesn't have to flow downhill for the water to work. What I would like is to widen this area along here. Now, the main reason that I want to widen this is so that we have a sufficiently wide capacity of water flowing out of that water source. The water source itself seems to produce a huge amount of water. There doesn't seem to be much of a limit on the amount that it can throw out. So if I, like, bring all of this out here, like that, it should allow more water to run through the channel to get over to this point. That's my aim here. I want to widen that along there like that. I'll go out there. I mean, it's actually the channel below me here is deeper here than it is back at the start. So it is flowing downhill slightly from here. So we'll just bring that down. Just keep lowering this until we get to roughly the point that we want to be there. And it's just a little bit more across there. New land. Yeah, somebody did suggest a couple of new mods for me to try. One of which gets rid of annoying, unnecessary notifications. So you only get to keep some of the notifications. And I am going to have a look at that. And I do have more names in the Great Book of Names that need to be applied to the city, which will be put. Some of them are actually names that should have been in the book for a little while now. But again, it's names that I've overlooked for one reason or another. And I can only apologize for this. I'm not going to be able to get all of the names exactly right to start with. It's going to take me a while to sort of catch up on all the names that do need to be in there and should have been in there right from the start. So you just kind of, I'm just going to have to ask you all to bear with me while I'm sort of getting the book established to start with. So there, we'll set a new point up there. So that is 177 and get rid of that one. Right, now let's go this way and take a look at the new point where the water is. So this down here is starting to clear up okay. Up here, That, you know, I said because we cleared out the bottom, it was going to slop back and forth a little bit. That's what it's doing right there. So that's not anything we need to worry about, because once we've got it all cleared up and it's established and it's reached the point that it needs to be at, it's not going to change very much. And here we go. Almost the entire slum area of our city has now been inundated with water. Almost the entire lot. Every single little bit of it, just about, has now filled this area up with water. Although, we do have a lot less water coming through here now. And I wonder if it's anything to do with me cutting that off, so that the only water way is coming around that way. It might, you know. That might have had an effect on it, because obviously you get more water coming through. If it's, you know, that wide, you do have more water coming through. And look at that. It's actually doing it. Look at this. It's actually doing it. The level of the lake has risen so high that we now have the water flowing in the opposite direction on the channel. The level of the lake is now higher than this lake here. The original poop lake. Let's drop that one out. Actually, let's get rid of that one there. And we'll have a look here. So 336 megawatt output on that dam. We've got a load of water coming out here. But now this lake has sort of reached that point there. I don't think it's going to change very much from that. I mean, we've still got waves here where everything is kind of settling down still. Trying to decide the levels that it's supposed to be at. But this is the important bit. This is the crucial bit. This now has gone all the way through. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Get a little bit of traffic build up there. We'll deal with that another time. Right. So the flooding, now that this is
The Coast Guard is warning of a tsunami approaching the area. Residents should avoid roads and waterfronts. A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Well, see, look, it says tsunami, but it seems to have launched the tsunami from the puddle that we've got on the streets, so it's not actually particularly devastating. Tsunami wave detected, unless it's coming from out here somewhere. I don't think it is. I don't think we've got any issues at all over here. It seems to be that we've got one little bit over here. Oh, no. Crematorium is ready for rebuilding. There. Right, I've rebuilt the crematorium underwater. Everybody's really happy with that. They all seem really happy that I've given them a submersible crematorium. Not quite sure how the submersible crematorium will operate, but hey. And the water is no longer pouring in here either. I don't know how long that's going to last. I think we got another wave of water due to come in. And I do think that is going to have... there, it's coming out there now. And now that it's sort of coming around there, it's now going all the way round and back into this area. I've just changed it slightly because of this. And I think also the way that I opened everything out. So, next up on the agenda, we're going to need to move this bridge. That's going to have to be the next thing we do, so that I can keep moving that bank there. So that's got to come out, and that one over to there. We can leave the other bit of the bridge. And that's got to come out up to there.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Right, where is this tsunami? This is the thing, there doesn't seem to be very much issue with a tsunami. No, considering that it was striking in the middle of the city down there, it doesn't seem much of a problem. I don't think we've got much to worry about, to be honest. This is a bigger concern up here, is the water flowing out that way. And that there is a slight problem. And I'm wondering, I might need to just fill that up a little bit, actually. Right. let's remove the road on those two bits there. And we'll just see what happens with that water. Remove that. And that. So, I mean, the water's got to flow around a little bit, and then...
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
What tsunami are you rabbiting on about? There isn't a tsunami. I haven't seen one yet. I've seen no sign of any tsunami whatsoever. I think you're mistaken. I don't think any kind of tsunami has happened. I think you've gotten a little bit confused, and there's not a lot else that we can do about it. It's just, yeah. Alright, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just take a breather and you'll be fine. Okay, I can go back to this now, and I can then go, yep, we got that right there. Take you. Bring you out like that, and join you onto there. So it's going to put a little bit of a bridge over that low point, and that, I think, it'll work out just fine. So there, we can put that one in here as well. And so we've got a little bit of a low point there. I didn't actually landscape any of it away, but I got a little bit of a bridge that's going to go over the flooded point. It's not going to stay flooded for very long. See, it's already corrected.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
When I edit these episodes, I have to edit her voice down quite considerably. I mean, a really long way. She is extremely loud. I'm going to leave that... I might just leave one of them loud, just so that you get an idea of it. But yeah, she is very, very noisy. And I don't think she needs to be, quite frankly. I really don't. But this is beautiful. This is an absolute thing of beauty. This is all the water going in the correct direction. Round here, though, this has changed things up a bit. So we got more water pouring out of here. We need to go back. So yeah, I wanted to go back over this way, and I want to just landscape again. And I'll bring that down here. I'm going to bring it reasonably close there to the road, so that I can dig out some more of this channel here, should I need to. Or should I so desire? And
a tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
I think she's a little bit confused right now about what constitutes a tsunami. I think this is the problem. She no longer realizes what a tsunami actually is, and has thus gotten herself a little bit confused and confuddled about the situation. All the way down here, for the most part, I don't think we're going to need to worry about our barrier. But I am going to bring the barrier down this way, because I'm planning on widening this one. So I want to bring that up there, like that. And I can't go too much close to the road, so it's sort of going to go about here, really. That's going to be the high point there, and it's going to go to about there. Let's keep going. I'm just going to build this bit right up as high as we need it to go. So it does go up quite a bit. There. That's about it there. Bring that along that way. Like that. There. Right, so that's our height.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Okay, I get the idea. Will you please shut up? There's no need for this anymore. Disasters. She's not telling me. I've just got detected. And it's not doing anything at all. There is no tsunami. I think it's because we've still got this water running down through here, and that's kind of confused her a little bit. So I've got the water running through there. So what I'm going to need to do next is remove that road. I've got the railway up there that's got to be done. And I've got to remove this road here. And I'm going to have to remove it all the way down. I'm going to have to redo that junction, I think, unfortunately. I don't like having to redo the big junctions, but it doesn't look like we got much choice this time. So bring that up there. There we go. I might be able to get away. We're not doing that. I'll remove that bit and that bit. There. And Yeah, see, I think I can get away.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Right, we get it. You're bored. You're having a slow day at work, so you're just wanting to create a little bit of excitement for the people around you. We don't need it. Please go away. Just thought I'd put that out there. Right, if I bring that in like that, there, and then I want to bring that bank up like that. So all of this here can then come up to the correct height, which is all the way up there, like that. That's the height it's supposed to be, and I've got a little bit of a dip down here. This can actually be filled in. Outside connection needed. Yep, I know. I know, don't worry. There, if I fill in that little bit down there, we've got a little bit of a dip there, but that is going to be just tickety-boo. We don't need to worry about that. And then what I want to do here is I want to bring that over this way, but I want to do that so that I no longer have a river running in through here across those roads. That's going to come that way.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
I could get really fed up with her screaming about this, but this tsunami has kind of thrown her a bit. That's what it is. She's gotten confused about the tsunami, and then because we've got all this flooding, she thinks it's still a tsunami, and that's what's doing it. Right, so I've got now this area here is kind of protected against new floods, and that in there is just fine. So I can lower down the barrier in here. That's stopping the flooding from going in there. I want to bring this along this way. Build that wall up there. Get that up out of the water. And we want to bring it along there. Get out that side slightly. Like that. And then that side is going to be nice and safe. At least. I hope. Bring that through there. It's got to go up a little bit higher than that. That's almost the height of the river anyway. So for the most part, it's pretty good over this side. There.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Right. I am aware that a tsunami has struck the city. But I'm not quite sure why she's still screaming about the tsunami. Because we kind of dealt with that now. So it's time to be moving on. It's time to find something else to squeal about. And I don't think anybody's quite pointed that one out to us. So we've got... Well, what we're going to need to do... Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to come out of there. Because we've run out of time for today's episode. So we're going to go to... Excuse me. We're going to go to this here a minute. And I'll be able to build the barrier all the way along there on the north side of that track. And that's not going to cause any problems. All of this here is a big wide open area, so I can build the barrier along here. I'm actually going to put more of a pinch zone in there. It's going to be wide there, which is going to encourage a good flow of water along here into the lake, which obviously then in turn will send the water in this way. And slightly less coming down here, which I figured would be a good thing. If we got slightly less coming down there, it's going to help things out a bit. I'm going to have to redesign this down here so that we can reduce some of this flooding on the road. I'm not really sure how we're going to do that. We've got to get this water here cleared as well. So that's another thing that we want to work on. I mean, I don't think it's going to take too much to do that. We've just got to build this up, and it's rebuilding all these bridges. We're going to have to go, and quite a number of these bridges are going to have to be dismantled and rebuilt at a higher vantage point. So we can't do it too quickly. We do have to work reasonably steady while we come in around here.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Right, I get it. There is a tsunami in the city. I don't think you actually know what a tsunami is. I'm starting to seriously question whether you even know what the word means. We'll see. We'll come back to it. I think we're going to have to just put up with that for a little while. But this is looking fantastic. It's filled up here. You can see it's actually gone up higher on there. And it's gone up higher all the way around. This is just brilliant. I love how much it's risen up here. But it's not gone over anything. None of this is actually flooded below, you know, flooded above any, like, danger points for the city itself. I mean, we do have a problem over here if we get, like, a load of water flopping out over there. That's still operating, even though it's completely underwater. Anyway, we've run out of time. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.